Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel, Shaun Jones Fitness. Good to have you back. I haven't posted in ages because I've been away doing loads of business shit, sorting myself out, getting some extra gains. I am back. We have new content because, quite frankly, this one could not be missed. This is ridiculous. Strap yourselves in, get your seatbelts on, sit back, relax, make sure you have some Lucozade there so you don't go hypoglycemic. We're about to get into some absolute ridiculous triggering nonsense. So what's the latest? What's been going on this November? Let me show you. This is ridiculous. Transgender lessons for 2-year-olds. Drag queens drafted into nursery schools to teach children about sexual diversity. I mean, what the hell? Just to be serious for a second, the last thing that we need as kids is sexual diversity. Do you not agree? Kids should be learning to be kids. Kids should be colouring in, they should be learning to read, to spell, sitting there hitting other kids. That's what they should be doing, hitting each other. Missy, he called me this and he called me that. That's what kids do. Kids should be being kids in school, not sitting there in a drag queen seminar learning about the sexual diversity and the gender fluidity spectrum. So it says here, drag queens are reading nursery rhymes to teach youngsters LGBT tolerance. Look, the real question is, do we actually need this? Do we need this in society? Because teaching kids about gender and sexuality, is there not like a small part of you inside that thinks that this is morally wrong? Sexualizing our children from as early as the age 2? Ridiculous. Nowadays, society's fucked up. This is what would happen nowadays. If your kid walks past the shop and goes, I like that pink teddy, all of a sudden the parents think, oh my god, he likes pink, that must mean he's a girl. Right, okay, let's get him with the hormones, the estrogen and all that, the testosterone blockers. Yeah, no, I don't care if he's only 38 months old, let's fucking switch him into a girl. That's the problem with society these days. As soon as you have a lad that likes something feminine, then all of a sudden they're a girl. It doesn't really make any sense. But going on here about this teaching youngsters about transgender tolerance, I think that's ridiculous. I was never brought up with anything like this. I didn't even know what a transgender was when I was younger. I'm 29 now, so it gives you a little bit of a reference point. But I didn't know what all this was and sexuality. I didn't think I knew what gay was until I was 14. And how have I turned out? Completely fine. I'm not intolerant to transgenders. I've got a cousin who's transgender. I've got a cousin who's gay. I've got many friends who are gay as well. It's fine. If you want to be gay, you want to be lesbian, you want to be trans, whatever you want to do it. But here's the thing. When you look at the gay community, the trans community, it's a very small minority of the population. But now that small minority are controlling what happens to the rest of us, the majority. So now us people who want our kids to go to schools and nurseries and whatever, and just want them to, learn how to spell and, be educated on the stuff that matters. Now we're starting to prioritise teaching them about sexuality and gender. And that classes as discrimination. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube demonetizes this video just for me speaking out against it. I had a lot of people unfollow me on Instagram yesterday just for kind of speaking out about this. But the thing is I believe this starts with the parenting. I think what it comes down to, this shouldn't be up to the schools to teach this stuff. It should be up to the parents. Now, as I said, when I was younger, I didn't have a clue what any of this was. Yet, I've grew up being completely tolerant towards people who are trans, people who are gay, lesbian, whatever. So I didn't need this in school. Why do our little kids need this now? And then people say, oh, there's still a lot of hate in the world and a lot of racism and a lot of discrimination and all this. There actually isn't. Not in Western society anyway. The thing is, you've got other places like the Middle East who are completely against all this. And what do we do as a nation? We bow down to them and go, oh no, we respect all cultures. If you're gay in the Middle East, you get thrown off a building. And then we say that the hatred is over here in Western society. It's absolute nonsense. You've got the Middle Eastern countries saying, hey, we're over here, come on, we've got the sexism, we got the discrimination, the bigotry, we got it all over here, here we are. And we're going, oh no, we don't want to appear racist, oh God. Oh. Respect their religion, unless it's Christianity, respect their religion, oh God, I don't want them to hate us or think we're racist. So as a Western society, we are pretty tolerant, would you not say? Let me just clarify. I do respect your decision as a human being. You have the right to do whatever you want to do in terms of with your gender, with your sexuality. That's completely fine. I agree with that. So let's get that off the table first. If you want to be gay, if you want to be lesbian, if you want to be trans, whatever you want to do, that's completely fine. Fine by me. You can go and do it, integrate within society and just get on with things, Love who you want to love. That's fine. But don't start telling me how I should live my life and what rules I should live my life by. Now, here's the problem. We've got parents who are sending the kids to school, their young boys, in pink tutus. And then these kids are going to get skittered like crazy. They're going to get absolutely humiliated. You've got little boys going into schools with pink tutus on going, I identify as a girl. Guess what? Those kids are going to be bullied. It's the way it is. So if you think it's the bullying that's the problem, it's not. The kid's going to get bullied anyway. Kids get bullied for far less reasons than that. You go in school with ginger hair. Ginger. You go in and you're fat. Fatty. You go in when you're skinny. Look at you little worm. You're tall. You're lanky. Whatever. You're short. You're short, stumpy thing. You get skittered for everything in schools. So why would it be any different if your son is going into school in a pink tutu? He's going to get skittered. And then the byproduct of that is then the parents are like, oh, well, my son was bullied in school for being transgender. And then all the virtue signaling Facebook people come on and go, this is terrible, we need to be more accepting of trans people. And then what happens? Then all these people complain because a kid in a pink tutu was bullied in school, which is going to happen. And then all this legislation and policies and rules and stuff like this come into play that we've then got to abide by. So now my kid's going to be indoctrinated into learning about all this crazy sexuality and gender stuff just because you sent your kid to school in a pink tutu. That's pretty much what it is, isn't it? Man, this shit's messed up. Like, a lot of people think that this is kind of the beginning and we're on our way to legalising paedophilia. And, like, there's a lot of stuff out there kind of showing that that's the direction we're going to. And if it is, I want no part of it. Look at some of these gay pride parades and the LGBT parades. They literally have young boys twerking. They've got people walking around with dildos stuck on their heads and on the ears and hanging out the mouth, and then little 8-year-olds standing next to them with makeup and tutus on and dancing around. Like, we're literally sexualizing our kids. But hey, I guess that's just me discriminating. Look, summary, here's what's going to happen, right? You're going to expose your kids to all this thinking that it's going to help, but they're going to become more confused. A common argument that I actually hear is that we want to let our kids be free and do whatever they want and express themselves in whatever sort of way that they want. And as a kid, they can make their own decision because we don't want to make them unhappy. First off, I think that's an excuse for being a lazy shit parent. You don't want to take control of your kids. You're too scared to discipline them and you're too scared of messing them up as bad as you're messed up. But no, wait there, that's not fair of me to say. I'm not saying that you're messed up. I'm just saying that, your values are a bit screwed when it comes to teaching our kids about sexuality and gender. So then the kids are going to grow up, they're going to maybe like something that's a little bit more feminine or whatever, masculine, and then they're going to get confused because they were taught all this stuff as a kid as that, if you like something that's not exclusive to your gender, then that must mean that you are a different gender. You're going to start getting a lot of kids coming out and thinking that they're a different gender, and a lot of people will say, well, that's fine, let them do what they want. But really though, I think that's a really bad destination that we're heading towards. The suicide rate is already quite high in people who transition, and I just think it can be used as a little bit of an excuse to cover up deeper underlying emotional issues. I think a lot of people who will transition or kind of find comfort and significance in identifying as a different gender, there might be something missing in their lives. That's obviously an assumption that I am making, but that's just my opinion. I'd like to hear your opinion. I'm completely open to it, but I think that's usually a coping mechanism of dealing with insecurities. There's a lot of people also who have the theory that, Western culture now, we all hate white people because, we've got no culture and it's all about the other cultures and bringing diversity to this country. And if you're against that, then you're racist. So then you've got these people who, feel bad and just guilt and riddled with white guilt, as they say, because of all their white privilege. So they feel that bad and that guilty. It's like, oh my God, I'm a piece of shit. I'm just a white person. I'm a piece of shit. What can I do to change it? It's like, well, you're not black. I want to change it. Well, why don't you be something like gay or one of these other genders or something? Like, oh, well, I'm not really gay and, I don't identify as one of these genders. Well, I know. Oh, how about you get your kid to transition and then we'll accept you into our little group then? Oh, yeah, okay, right. The best way to get rid of my white guilt and my white privilege is if I ever sort of turn him gay or change his gender a little bit, make him confused, I'll be accepted then, and then I'll look like such a hero, and then I can message Daily Mail and say, oh, my kid is so beautiful and this and that, and they transitioned abortions when they were 2 years old, and he already knows that he wants to sleep with men when he's older, and we've got him at the gay pride parades on the floats, and he's standing there with a dildo over his head swinging it. It's alright, he's 2, let him do it, let him be free, don't discriminate, accept all these differences, we need to stand together against hate in the country, Tory scum, Tory scum. You know, that's obviously I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but it's kind of like that's the direction that we're heading in, and it's just a personal theory. Guys, I'd love to see your comments on this, so post below. It's been a while since I've done a video, trying to get back into this now on a weekly basis. I did say I wanted 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's probably not going to happen, but if we can do it, please, I would love your support. It's been great this week speaking to a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook who agree with me on this, because often I feel like I'm alone sometimes. I'm saying all this stuff and no one's agreeing with me, and it just seems like these minority groups are now controlling the world. So if we can get a discussion down below, I'm back, I'm on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. I'm active on Instagram every single day. It's one of the first places that I interact with all my fans and followers. So get at me on Instagram. It's Shaun J Fitness, link in the description below. I know it hasn't been super informative, just a little bit more of subjective opinion. So what do you guys think? Post below. I'll see you on the next one.